Hey YouTube, how's it going? We're here. We're back with the finale of linkclick season 2 really quick. If you could like the video for me, please, I greatly appreciate it. These late nights, staying up to the wee hours of the morning, chatting about this, editing it, getting it up. It's all led to here. Final episode of season 2. I'm still going with the third party. Still going with the third party. If it was the cop, if it was the police captain, he's an idiot because there's no reason to shoot her because she came here with you. It's not like you didn't know she was here. So if he's the one that shot, he's an idiot. Someone mentioned, like, what if it was Lou? That would be crazy. I don't think that's the case. I think it's a third party. I think someone else was down in this subway system that we did not know of, and they pulled the trigger. So let's just hop in. No more speculation. Let's wait until after the episode, and we'll see what it has in store for us. Episode 12. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm gonna have to move my mic over. I might have moved it too far, but we'll deal with it for now. We're here. Let me leave this alone before I drop in and break it again. So for the last couple episodes, like this one last episode, I watched it on Crunchyroll directly, but I've been watching it somewhere else up until now, just because of like time convenience. A little later than usual. Mental health center. Now, is she calling the mental health center for Janchi? She's signing.
这是小西新学的手语，什么意思呀？是好哥哥的意思。你故意的吧？别的不教，先教这个。
好了，你们过来吧。
啊，哎，来了来了。
说说吧，哪里不舒服？
哦，是我女儿，半年前开始就突然发不出声音了。
Oh, so her losing her voice is she spoke before, but she couldn't speak now.
没事的，有我在。
Is her losing her voice trauma based, or is it an ability thing? Because I know we talked about that earlier, that her losing her voice could have been trauma related, but what if it was ability related? Like, what if she lost her? I think I mentioned this before. Like, what if like her ability manifested and there was an adverse effect or a side effect, or she lost her ability to speak but gained something else in the process? It's usually like when people speak about losing a sense, like they lose one of their senses, and their other senses become enhanced. So like if you lose your vision, your smelling, your hearing gets a little bit better. If you lose your hearing, your vision might get a little bit. It's your vision, your smell, all these things, they get enhanced because of the deficiency. So I wonder if it's something like that, where she lost her voice because she got the ability to like view people's lives and what's going on. Ow. I do wonder. Or if it's just strictly trauma based with just the household they live in. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is it, man. Final episode. What is it called? Can't live without a good brother. Okay. All right, here we go. Did he chase him down and take the gun and then go back and shoot her? That's what I initially thought possibly could have happened outside of a third party. Ooh, wow. If he's got that locked in tight, it's over. It's crazy. Who did it? Who shot? Who shot? Who shot? So it was him. It was him. So he got the gun, came back, and shot her. Okay, that's what happened. Hey! Is this the scene from the first episode? You're out. He's gonna hit him right. He's gonna hit him right there. Did he get grazed or did he get hit? Just a few scratches, boy. You've been shot. Ooh. Okay. All right. Oof. Yeah, buddy. Ah. Oh my gosh. You could tell they went ham on the animation, how fluid it is. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, vest comes off. Brody, you just got shot. Okay. Ooh. Apply pressure. Put Okay. All right. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to target any of their wounds. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. That's what I was expecting. It's hit him right there. Woo! He is breaking them off. Don't get careless, boy. Lock in. You gotta lock in. You. This track is dope. He hasn't put up. Oh, he's here. Whoa. Okay. Woo. Oh, goodness. That's dirty. Ooh, not the punch clash. Oh, he threaded the needle on that. Shades of ooh. Okay. Nice leg trap. Uh-huh. Woo! Oh, good takedown. Ooh. Damn. But he worked him. Nah, she's really gonna go? What? What'd she just do? Is she allowing her to see? I was gonna be like, is she allowing her to see?
如果调解还是没用的话，你可以试试走法律途径，和他解除婚姻关系。
我不是没想过离婚，但一想到天辰他们还小，小希天生又有点智力障碍，我一个人不知道该怎么办。
我可以帮你们呀。
谢谢周老师，但我不想一直麻烦你。小希，你睡醒了？哟，怎么哭了？做噩梦了？
我不要爸爸妈妈分开。爸爸妈妈是不是不要我？
That's not what that means, baby. Oh man, that's tough. Confirming that that was him that did the kicking out and took over. And he used her to do it. Oh. It's not that she even witnessed the mom's death. Knowing how their ability works, she lived it. Like she lived that. They both did. Look, he's thinking he did good. He didn't realize. That's crazy, man. This still hurts, man. This still hurts. See that. That's terrible.
爸爸好想陪你一起长大。听到你第一次开口，
That is terrible.
你学会走路，每天护送你去学校。生病的时候，我希望能在你身边，牵着你的手，陪你走向婚礼的殿堂，看着你成为一个母亲。对不起，女儿，对不起，
对不起，我不是一个好妈妈，我自始至终都不知道怎么才能更好的去爱你们，守护你们。我努力过，但为什么会越努力越糟糕？
我不要，我不要爸爸妈妈分开。爸爸妈妈是不是不要我了？
对不起，小希，对不起。妈妈不会跟爸爸分开，更不会离开你们的。
Is that what caused it? Whoa. Is that what caused it? She chose not to. Wow. So this is what he had, this brief moment. She had this brief moment. It's in the forest. How did Chen end up going off the roof? Dude, I'm hurting. That was emotional. Here he is. Here he is. It's the younger brother.
上车了，妈你就放心吧。
What's that marking on his neck?
我出国这些年，
Years
的确发
abroad.
生了很多事。
是啊，这个流民说死就死了，倒也是了了我一桩心事。
That's
好了，
crazy.
不说了不说了，你赶紧回来多陪陪你爸。
回来前，我先要去个地方。
啊？干嘛去啊？
见个老朋友。
Old friend.
我说过，我们一定会再见面的。
Have they seen each other's like? When's the last time they saw each other? When they were kids? That's what we're saying? I don't know. Briefly, I thought she was passing her ability to her, but I don't think that could work like that. It's the phone. So he was working for him. Oh, he turned back around. Wow. That's foul, bro. That's what I thought we were going to see, but no. And I should have also brought up um whenever Tianchen, whenever he started like losing it in front of his mom, it looked similar to that. Should have said it. I didn't though. This song is amazing that's playing right now. She made it. Okay. She made it. Turn all uncertainties to certainties.
好像落东西了。
已经不需要了。
He left his phone.
吃了1个月的清汤寡水，果然还是垃圾食品才能够满足。陆光，你怎么不吃啊？
对不起，郑小石。我一直告诉你，不能改变过去，但自己却没能做到。
Wait.
即使知道死亡是不能改变的节点。
I knew it. We're in one big loop. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that this boy was too secretive, that there was another part of his ability. He straight up can just time travel. He straight up can just go back in time. And he literally went back. I watched it already. I watched it. And then it's just going to end like that. Like it didn't just drop a bomb on us. Real quick. What? I don't want to watch you right now. Not after we just got finished watching. I want to rewatch the last scene again. So we're in one gigantic loop. That's why he freaked out when Cheng got shot. And I feel like this leans more so to what I was thinking whenever we had a conversation. Now, people from YouTube, I cut this out of the video that we talked about it. But for my people in Discord, a couple episodes, whenever we were talking about Emma, let me go back a little further. Whenever we were talking about Emma and Emma's death seeming like it was destined, and I was mentioning, or I was bringing up the idea that if Emma was like destined to die, it wouldn't matter how she died. But for her case, it was always Tianchen being directed by Lu Min to kill her. Always. It never was any other circumstance. That's why I feel like it's just we're always behind on the 8 ball because they always had to jump on us from the first place. But if Emma was destined to die, it wouldn't happen the same way every time. She would get hit by a bus. She would trip on a rock and fall and bust her head. Weird things would happen. It would just be like weird stuff if she was just destined to die at this point in time. But what it seems like is exactly what I'm talking about is what Lou is talking about. That's why I feel like Emma's death can be avoided. I still feel that way. It could be avoided. Because Emma's death happens via tampering. Because we don't know if she ever would have died originally. We know that her death is done via tampering. We don't know how Cheng dies. We don't know if they were doing something and they just got into a point and he just ends up getting into a scuffle or something, ends up dying. There was no time shenanigans happening. But with Lou, when Cheng got shot in the subway, he freaked because he's like, oh my gosh, this is the moment. Now, if we look at this, for Lou to have that reaction, hold on. I want to go back to here. Now I'd have to go back to episode 1. No. It's like we're not even in the same place. We're not wearing the same clothes, but yet and still Lewis freaking out because like, hey yo, Chang could die, and I need to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid to get himself killed, which to me makes it seem like at any point in time, like Chang could find himself in a weird situation and just die, and now Lu is all messed up. That's why he's come back to stop this in the first place. He's trying to make sure that we don't end up in the spot where he guaranteed dies, but any one of these situations can end up in a death. Like, who knows? Chang possibly could have died to Chanjin. He definitely could have. We don't know, but it's a possibility that could have happened. So I think with Lu, with this revelation that this boy can come back, I just wonder how. I just wonder under the circumstance, like, how is he doing this? Is he overriding himself? Right? Is he overriding himself? Is he coming back, killing himself and then taking his own space or his own spot? Now it's just like thinking about this makes me wonder more about Lu, because upon thinking back to the first season, whenever they speak about how Chang and Lu met each other, we know nothing about him. He just came out of nowhere. That's pretty much like loosely what has been explained about him. We don't know really anything about him, and he just showed up randomly one day, and we struck it off, and we've become friends ever since. And it's one of these things where it's just like, I don't know if like, okay, so Lu and Chang end up becoming friends, they get really close, and then Chang ends up dying, and then Lu goes back. Now I don't know if Lu going back, when he goes back, which I would assume like whenever it was like, hey, he was so like standoffish, X, Y, Z, is he acting this way on purpose so that him and Chang don't end up becoming friends, and then they don't end up working together, but he just can't help himself and he still ends up becoming friends anyways, but he's going to keep this cold exterior because maybe I could push him away if I stay cold. Maybe if I'm distant and I'm strict and I do all these things, maybe I could keep him away. Maybe we don't end up where we end up with him dying. Maybe that's not the case. So I don't know. Is this the first time we're watching Lu go back? So like, is Lu right now in this, he's at the beginning of the loop, right? Whenever we do time travel stuff, it's like we're already living through something. So it's like, so when's the first one? Because if I'm interacting with you, but you came back from the future, then at what point did this ever start? And it's just like, that's where you end up in this conundrum. It's just like, I don't know when it started. But are we living through the first instance where things were happening and then Lu just was like, I can't deal this, and he decides to go back? And now we're living through run 1, right? And in run 1, there's all these little time travel shenanigans inside of his big loop that he's created. And we're trying to see if we lead back up to Chang's death, if we can go past it, or if it repeats and then we go back again. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know, man. I knew this boy was too secretive. I knew he was hiding things. I knew there was more to his ability. I knew it. I just knew it. He was too sus. He was way too sus. I knew there was way more to him. I knew it. Do we get it? Do we get to see what he's looking at? Do we know what he's looking at? He's looking at a picture. What picture is he looking at? I would assume that he's looking at a because he says going back to the beginning. So when I think of going back to the beginning, I'm thinking that he's going back to when they first met. That's my guess. Is that Lu is he gets to a point, Chang ends up dying, he can't handle it, and he's like, I'm gonna go back and change things. And he goes all the way back to when they first met to see if he can not allow this to happen. I don't know. Maybe this is the first time. Maybe he's constantly did it. Because he speaks as if he knows death is unchangeable. Which means that he would have had to have done this more than once. If he's speaking from his own personal experiences. We got a little Steins Gate thing going on. Where it's like it feels like he's speaking from personal experiences where it's just like death is unchangeable. And I'm just guessing. I know death is unchangeable because I've tried to change it and I can't change it. I've tried to change it and I cannot change it. So I didn't realize that was up there. So I'll have to do some blurring maybe. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, it's I'm wondering if this is something that he's done constantly. Do we have a Hohoin Yoma moment happening with Lu? Is this the beginning? Have we been doing this for a while? I don't know. My brain be working, and sometimes I be on point and sometimes I don't. But when I'm on point, I feel like I be on point. I shouldn't have cut that part out of that video. This was, what episode was this? That we brought this up? This was like episode 6 or 7, around there. Like in this sitting in Discord, it was like that night was like a 3-hour discussion, and I cut it to like maybe an hour. I cut like 2 hours. I cut like an hour and a half to 2 hours out, and that was all like just making the comparisons to other things that I've witnessed. So it's like I don't know. I've made the Steins Gate comparison, and it seems like we may actually be heading in that direction. So for all the people that have not watched Steins Gate, if you're still here, go watch Steins Gate, because for me, not for everybody, but for me, it's one of my favorite series that I've ever watched. And it feels like there's a chance that this series could be going in that direction, and in terms of its time travel and its storytelling and how they do the time travel, I do feel like it may be heading in that direction. I do, because I season 3 in 2 years from now possibly could divulge if Shiguang has been doing this repeatedly. If this has been his first time, his second time, his 5th time, his 15th time, his 150th time. And it's just like, no matter what, he's going to always continue to try. I don't know if it's going to get all science fiction-y as Steins Gate does. But I don't know. I have no idea. What is Lumen's brother up to? What is he up to? How does that factor into what's going on? Will Lu have to work with another person who has an ability to try to help him? I don't know. I don't know, man. This season was good. Season recap, it was a good season in my opinion. Was it better than season 1? That's tough because season 1, oh gosh, throat. I'm still getting over being like a little under the weather. Season 1 was a strong start. I will say, I'm gonna lean towards this was a better season than season 1. For the sole fact that this season had a clear narrative from start to finish, which was just picking up on the narrative that started basically in episode 9 of last season. So to me, like, this whole story arc that we've been going through started in episode 9 of season 1. Technically episode 10, but episode 9 of season 1 is when this arc started, because you had the Shan being kidnapped by Tianqin, now that we know who it is, by Tianqin using via using Tianqi's ability. So we had that interactive, which led to Lu getting stabbed in episode 11, which led to encounter in episode 10, which led to him getting stabbed in episode 11, which led to the beginning of this season and picking up on that thread and trying to figure out who this individual was. So the first season had the burden of introducing us to our characters, getting us to like our characters, and putting things in motion, explaining how their abilities work just a tiny bit. So when we finally got into the plot, which starts in episode 9, get into the plot, we can go. So it's been one big story for the most part, and I feel like season 2 is where we really jumped into that storyline. So now we're like in this transition of, okay, so now what's on our table? We know that Shanjin is currently locked up. Tianqi unfortunately has passed away. Tianqin is with Lumen's brother, and they're going off and they're going to continue doing whatever he's planning. He needed Lumen's phone for all the information in it. We don't know what he's up to. Chang is destined to die, and Lu is hell-bent on stopping it, it seems like. And that's pretty much where we are currently. So, like, moving into season 3, we're basically dealing with what can we do to keep Chang alive, and what are they going to be up to, and how will they interact with us? Are we going to continue going back to like what we did in season 1, fielding things for people, just working out of the shop? Are we going to work with the captain, the new task force, focusing on people with abilities? Are we going to continue doing that? Is he going to continue asking us? I would assume that would be tough just because of dealing with cases and the liability of them either getting hurt or dying. Like, it's that would be too much to be dealing with constantly without them being a part of the force. Those are pretty much our plot lines, and then figuring out what Tianqi actually did, how she let her see her visions. Was there a weird passing on of her ability? I don't know if that works like that, but we don't know. I don't know. This is an emotional episode, though. 100%. Super duper emotional. It's a good episode. Damn, Lu. I just knew the boy was up to. Can I say he's up to no good anymore? Because that was my thing. Like, he's up to no good. He's up to no good. He's being selfish, right? He's having his moment where it's just like he can't live with Chang's death, so he's being selfish and he's going back in time to try to fix it. I really do wonder how many times he's done this, though. I'm curious now. Actually curious how many times he's done this. Because he's relatively cool. Even though we know he's probably freaking out inside a lot of the time. I'm very curious how many times he's done this. Because he's still cool. I don't know how somebody would handle consistently seeing the person that they care about a lot die over and over. That would drive you crazy. That would drive you to insanity, especially if it falls under the lines of if he's done this multiple times and Chang has died in different ways. That's what's taxing. Like, it would also drive you crazy if no matter what you did, everything starts to unfold exactly the way it always unfolds. And you finally get to the moment, you know the moment's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do, and then he dies the same exact way. That would drive you crazy too. But, alright, so it's like, we end up in the forest, he ends up dying. And then I do everything I can to keep him out of the forest, but then we get on the bus, and then he dies on the bus. And then I do it again, and I make sure he doesn't go in the forest or the bus, but then he's walking across the street, and he just gets hit by a car. So I make sure he doesn't get hit by the car, he doesn't get on the bus, he doesn't go in this, and then he accidentally trips and he hits his head and he ends up dying. It's just, that would drive me crazy because it's like no matter what I do, it's both situations. No matter what I do, like, I can't keep him from dying. It really is. That's why if you haven't watched Steins Gate, go watch Steins Gate. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about by the time you get halfway through the series. So it's just like, it's just like, if it either way would drive you crazy, watching the events play out, no matter what you did, it just feels like fate is guiding it and making sure it goes that way. You can do everything in your power. That would drive me crazy. But just to try to do everything in my power and then they end up dying just a different way. At some point, it's just like, what do I do? It's like, I don't want to give up. But like, if you keep doing it, you're just traumatizing yourself because you're watching this person you care for die repeatedly in so many different ways. It's insane. It's insane. Lu seems to have a busted ability. His ability seems more busted than Chang's, in my opinion. But Chang, well, I can't say that. Chang has the ability to just see. We don't know what Lu's ability is at all. We don't know if, like, Chang could just look at something and be like, all right, I'm hopping in there, poop, and he just goes. We don't know if Lu's ability is well, Lu's ability seems like it's one and done. Like, Chang is like, I can hop in and I can hop out, and I can hop in and I can hop out, but I only can do it once. With Lu, what it feels like is he can use his ability like how he's been helping Chang this whole time, view everything for a 12-hour window, or I can just jump back in time to a singular spot and relive everything again. Kind of like, all right, it's just a one shot. I'm going here, and once I go, I'm here. And that's what it feels like. It feels like he gets to a point, he died again, boom, and I'm going back, and I'm gonna try again, and I'm just gonna live this experience all over again. So it's like, is he rewriting himself? Like, is he overwrite? Like, is it like, best way I can put this, is it like, have you seen Days of Futures Past, the X-Men movie? If you've seen that movie, the movie starts off in the future where the Sentinels have killed all the mutants and they're hunting down the last of the mutants. So they send Wolverine back in time, because he's the only one that can handle it, to try to change the course of time so that we don't end up in a future where the Sentinels have destroyed the world, essentially, destroyed all the mutants. Trying to end up so we don't end up in that situation. And basically what happens is Wolverine goes through, he's successful, yada, yada, yada. But because he's successful, everything changes. He's like lost the time. Like, his consciousness has lost the time until he catches back up to when he time traveled in the first place. So it's like 2045. He went back to 1970. And then he's conscious of going back in time until he changes something. And then he changes it. And then it's just boom, all that, like all the time travel stuff ceases to exist because he's changed the future. So now he's just basically droning throughout the rest of the time until he gets back to that 2045 point in which a version of him has went back into the past. And then when he wakes up, he's back now. It's like he's finally caught back up with himself, and now he can continue moving forward. It's kind of like he was lost in limbo waiting for time to catch up with him. So I wonder, like, I don't know where I was going with that. I said all that, make it make sense. I forgot what my original point was. I don't know. What if it's something, I don't know. I have to go back and re-listen to why I started talking about it. I don't remember exactly what it was. I'll probably put it in the editing because I gotta edit. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe. I'm still trying to think of what my point was for bringing that up. I don't know. It's gone. It's gone. But it makes sense. I know it does because I wouldn't have brought it up if it didn't make sense. When I've brought it up, I trust myself. I trust me in the past 5 minutes ago. I trust myself. So, I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got for the finale. We got a 2-year timetable. We gotta wait some more. Sucks. Now I'm embracing the wait because I watched the first season earlier this year. So it's like I didn't have to wait too long for season 2. But now I'm in for it now. I'm in for it now. So I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys. Appreciate all of you for coming on this ride with me for these 11 episodes, 12 episodes. For these 12 episodes. It sucks staying up, right? It sucks staying up late, but I enjoyed it. As much as I complained about being tired at work the next day, I definitely enjoyed staying up, getting these done, getting them up in the morning, and looking at the comments, and then sitting in here for hours theorizing and talking. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll be here for season 3 when season 3 drops, whenever it drops. But until then, I'll see you when I see you. So again, have a good one. I appreciate you, and I thank you. Peace out.